I want to stress that when we talk about safeguards, and when we talk about the question of what are adequate safeguards, we cannot always demand perfect success. Okay. For example, let's look at search and seizure. Right? Are we going to be able to completely 100% guard against the possibility of police abuse? Probably not. Does that mean that we should say police can never engage in search and seizure even with a warrant? Right? That they should never be allowed to get a warrant to search someone's home? I'm not sure I'm ready to go that far. Right? What we're asking is, do the benefits of allowing the practice outweigh the dangers? Right? And when we look at that, the question we should ask is, can we get adequate safeguards? That is, can we get safeguards that bring the level of mistakes and abuse and precedent low enough, right, that we're justified in allowing the practice? Right? So it's a question of balance. Right? The question of whether or not we have adequate safeguards partly depends on what is at stake. Right? Now that's a question people will disagree on. Right? But I would argue we almost certainly shouldn't go the route of saying we can't take any risk whatsoever. Right? So if we assume that we're sometimes justified in taking risks, then the question will always be, are there the potential for mistakes and abuses when we allow risky practice, right, great enough that we should ban the practice? Right? But when we ask that question, we shouldn't just say, well, how many mistakes or abuses might there be? We should say, with the best feasible set of safeguards, right, how likely will the mistakes and abuses be?